This is the 2026 Honda Passport RTL. Does it offer the best value? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Holmes Honda to go over this platinum white with gray interior Passport and give you all the details. If you want to know more about this particular model, check out the link in the description of the video. This is the base trim level for the Passport. So if you're looking for something that maybe isn't going to have the highest price, but still going to have a lot of great features, this is something you should consider. We're going to have our LED daytime running lights. And while the scoop right here is not active, it looks nice. I think that works decently for what you have. You're going to have your Passport logo stamped into the front end right here, and your blacked out Honda logo. Now the good thing here, for those of you who live in a climate where you need all-wheel drive, or for whatever reason you need that, that's a standard feature here on the Passport, no matter the trim level. Nice to know such a thing is here. 20-inch wheels at all four corners, and you will find a spare tire located in the rear cargo area. We'll show you that shortly. The side view mirrors are manually folding, as you can see, and you won't have turn signal indicators built in, but everything else is here. They're power adjustable, they're heated. Your blind spot monitoring, or as Honda calls it, blind spot information system, is built in. Here is your remote. Everything that you are going to want to be here will be here, including remote start. It is a proximity key with walk-away auto lock. Going to have the roof rails up top and a lot of safety features here. Honda sensing standard across all trim levels. That includes collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, traffic jam assist. All of those great features are here. You can see the design on your tail lights back here, and the turn signal indicator turned on so you can see that. And in this case, with your Passport logo, you've got the black inserts. Tell me what you think about that. How many of you like the inserts, or how many you would rather just have the stamped logo back here the same way that we have with the front? And for those who are wondering, yes, you do have a power tailgate here on the RTL trim level. Under the hood is the dual overhead cam 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 that makes 285 horsepower, 262 pounds-feet of torque, and it's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And how about potential MPGs? I'm not sure how well you can see this, but here are the numbers. 19 city, 25 highway, 21 combined, 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. You will find an 18.5-gallon gas tank. Towing capacity comes in at a maximum 5,000 pounds, and cargo capacity will range between 44 cubic feet up to 83.8 cubic feet. You'll find storage space here and here on each side, so we have some of those additions, and a 12-volt power outlet. Underneath the floor, we're just going to reach right here and pick that up. There is your spare tire, if you're wondering about that. And you might notice that the tailgate doesn't seem to be very high. That's very easy to fix for those of you who don't know. The button right here, right above that, it says hold to set height. So we're going to push that all the way up and hold the button down. You listen for the beeps. And once you do that, then the tailgate will open back up to that maximum height. There are 3 ways to open this tailgate, by the way. The button on the remote, the button right there above the license plate bracket, and there's also a button on the inside of the interior, right there at the driver's seat on the left-hand side of the steering column. Second row passengers will be greeted by a nice large armrest here with the gray interior. The upper door bin will feature a little bit of storage space and a couple of different bottle holders, as well as space right here. The one thing that's back here, or I should say not back here, that I know a lot of you want is the ability to add or decrease the amount of recline that you have with your seat backs. You have a little bit built in, but that's all you have, as these seats do not adjust where that is concerned. You'll find your rear seat pockets on the back of each seat. And for me personally, this is my favorite setup as far as the design of the center armrest right here. Going to have the cup holders built in. I like that they're vertical as opposed to parallel, because that way it's always available to be used as an armrest, no matter if there are cups in here or not. And something else that I think is a better option, you'll notice that we have seating for 3 people back here. The middle seat belt is no longer here in the roof area. I would much rather have that right here. It just seems easier to deal with. You don't have to get it out of the way for whatever reason that may need to be done. That may need to be done. And then we're going to have something here that I know a lot of you look for. Two things to be exact: rear air conditioning vents and USB ports. I'd still like to see 3 USB ports because you have seating for 3 people back here, but 2 is better than 0. Now in this case, you will not find a sunroof on this model. So for those of you that are saying, Tom, I don't want a sunroof, that is something that you can go without when it comes to the Passport. The passenger will be greeted by plenty of space with the upper and the lower door bins, plenty of room with the armrest, and this storage area right here in addition to the glove box. Driver and passenger seats are both power adjustable. There is a difference. The driver's seat is 10-way adjustable and has lumbar support. We have a 4-way adjustable passenger seat. Now, it doesn't raise and lower. I always wonder about that, and no lumbar support. But plenty of adjustability still built in where that is concerned. The sticker price is $46,665. Let's see what else you get for that price. There are the new animated graphics for 2026 that you will find on the Passport. We'll hit the button to bring everything to life. You'll have your seat memory right here and all of the controls for your mirrors, door locks, window. You can lock and unlock your windows, and you have 1 touch down and 1 touch up at all 4 windows. Here is the button for opening and closing the power tailgate. If you drop this lever right here, you can change the setting on the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescopically adjustable. When you turn the headlights on, you'll see the illumination right there on the lightness of the Passport. The brake lights work, and the turn signal indicators also come on when you use those. And you will also be able to control everything for your front and rear window wipers with the lever right here. The only thing missing is the button that's should be right here, I think, on all trim levels. Tell me what you think about that, which would allow you to bring up all of the different cameras all over the vehicle. Now, we do have the multi-view rear view camera, as you can see right here with the nice bright trajectory lines. And over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see by these graphics at the front and the rear that you have your front and rear parking sensors. Shifter paddles are found on the rear of the steering wheel. Here is everything for your adaptive cruise control. You can go back and forth through what you're listening to and change volume here. There's your voice command button. And we can use the scroll wheel right here to go through a lot of different information too. You can change a few things. You can see you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And speaking of changes, we can go right here. We're going to push on the scroll wheel right there, and we can go in and make quite a few changes, including the overall gauge design. If you want to go with the round look, there's how that looks. We can go with bar, and we'll go down to round minimal. Tell me which one you like most so far. And then we'll go down here to bar minimal. So if you like that look, there's what you're going to have. And then we go down to just good old-fashioned minimal. And we go back up here to back. If you're wanting to get back, that's how you're going to do it. And you can see some of the other features and functionality as far as that goes. On the right-hand side, I'm just using the scroll wheel right there to do that. The upper console has a sunglass holder, and you will also find some of the other features here on the upper console, as you can see. Let's take a look at what else we're going to find with our 12.3-inch screen. You can see that you have a few different options here as far as what's on the screen. We'll go back here. There is your first page. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are grayed out because I don't have anything paired, but you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Google Maps. You also have Google Assistant. And when you go into vehicle settings, here's a neat little trick that you might not know about. And while this is the correct exterior color as far as what you see on the screen, if you wanted a different color, or maybe your Passport is a different color, go to body color right here, and you can match what's on the exterior to what is on the screen. You can see that you have all of the different colors that are available for the Passport right here. Or maybe you have platinum white and you just want what you have on the screen to be something that's a little bit different. Everybody is different in how they want that to look. So you have your options where that is concerned. Now I want to show you something very interesting and very important here. If your power tailgate doesn't open, come right here to power tailgate setup. First of all, go right here to keyless open mode. Notice that right there it's selected to when unlocked. If you want any time, you can go right there and select that. Super simple to do. But here's something that might be something you need to look at if it won't open, because you can always open it manually no matter what. But make sure it is not set to off or manual only. If you're trying to use the power functionality, it needs to be set to on, as you can see. And everything else that you might need to do is just as easy to find as far as what is going on here with the screen. We will find our dual zone climate control. We do have 3 zones of climate, dual in the front, single in the rear. And you can adjust the rear settings from the driver's seat if you want to, or the passenger seat for that matter, depending on who wants to do that. Heated seats, I would love to see ventilated seats because it's getting to our hot season here in Northwest Louisiana. Wireless charging, another 12-volt power outlet, and your USB ports. Space right here for the cell phone or whatever will fit. Now you will find the push-button shifter right here. Some people like it, some people don't, but that's what you have. You're going to have everything here, including the button that allows you to go into drive or sequential mode, and then your drive mode selector right here. Let's see what our drive modes are, because there are a lot. We're going to have normal. We'll go down to econ. You can see snow, trail, sand, and tow. You'll also see the accompanying graphics, and you'll also have sport mode right there. We will also find our power parking brake, brake hold mode. Depending on your preference, you can turn the idle stop or the auto stop start system on and off, and there's your hill start assist. The center console has plenty of room within, and this is basically the armrest, the center console lid. As you can see, there are no armrests built into the seats themselves. Driving the Passport is a nice experience. It offers a lot of versatility because of the fact that you have all-wheel drive. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, for those of you who live in an environment where you're going to have a lot of snow more often throughout the year than not, that's good. Or maybe you live in a mountainous area where you have a really steep driveway. I actually know somebody in Colorado who deals with that on a regular basis. If you don't have four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive on your vehicle, getting up their driveway can be rather challenging. So a lot of good things come as far as the versatility goes with the Passport. The ground clearance is good for those situations as well. And I like that you have very simple to learn and use technology here. None of it is difficult. It may look different than what we've seen in the past with the Passport, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be increasingly complicated. Honda has very simple to learn and use technology across all of their vehicles, something that I find to be a great selling point for any vehicle. Easy to see out of, that's always good. You'll have your driving aids that are going to help make that an even better experience, such as your blind spot monitoring that's built into your side view mirrors. And easy to adjust everything. The driver's seat, like I said, 10-way power adjustable driver's seat. You couple that with the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, and anybody of just about any height should be able to adjust things to where they are nice and comfortable and able to see without any trouble. That is good to have that adjustability built in. The brake pedal and the gas pedal are easy to manage and deal with, and the steering is responsive. You have a good turning radius for a mid-size SUV. And the versatility as far as a decent amount of cargo space, and you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Makes this one of the best SUVs out there, in my opinion. Depending on what you want to spend, well, you can go to a higher trim level. There's a lot to choose from, depending on what you want to spend and available options by trim level. But that's one good thing about Hondas, is that you can add quite a few features even on a lower trim level or the base model, such as what we're driving here in today's video. And there it is, the 2026 Honda Passport RTL. Does it offer the best value? Depending on what features you do or don't want, it definitely offers a lot of value for a much lower price than you're going to find with other trim levels. You can get a lot of features that are available on those trim levels, but not pay quite as much money. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, that helps me out a lot. And make sure to share this video on your timelines on social media. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.